Now propaganda is everywhere. It's prevalent. And it's all pretty much leading us to the mindset of accepting this authoritarian hierarchical structure of society.
Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a controversial subject that has captured the imaginations of many, the mystery surrounding Planet Nibiru. According to some, this planet, or rather, a hidden celestial body, is hurtling back toward Earth. But is there any truth to these claims, or is it simply another conspiracy theory? One man who has been outspoken about this subject is Randall Carlson, a researcher, architect, and geologist. Randall Carlson has been studying Earth's history, cataclysmic events, and planetary science for decades. His perspective is both unconventional and eye-opening. Carlson, who's also well known for his work with Graham Hancock on the ancient human past, argues that Earth's history is marked by periodic catastrophes, some of which may be linked to a mysterious, undiscovered planet in our solar system, Nibiru. This planet, according to some ancient civilizations and modern theories, is on a return trajectory toward Earth, and it's not a matter of if, but when. Over the years, Carlson has detailed his research into Earth's geological past and linked these cataclysmic events to the influence of this giant, unseen planet. So, today we're going to break down everything you need to know about the concept of Planet Nibiru, its possible effects on Earth, and why Randall Carlson believes it's real. We'll look at the evidence, the science, and the claims surrounding this phenomenon. Let's start by getting to the heart of the matter. What exactly is Planet Nibiru? What is Nibiru? The first thing you need to understand is that the concept of Nibiru goes back thousands of years. It wasn't until the late 20th century, however, that the idea gained traction in the modern world, primarily thanks to the writings of Zecharia Sitchin. Sitchin, an author and ancient astronaut theorist, proposed that the Sumerians spoke of a mysterious planet, which they called Nibiru. According to Sitchin, this planet orbits the Sun in a highly elliptical orbit, taking it far beyond Pluto, and it makes its return to the inner solar system about once every 3,600 years. Sitchin suggested that the beings from this planet, the Anunnaki, were responsible for influencing early human civilization, bringing knowledge and technology to ancient cultures. Though Sitchin's theories have been widely criticized by mainstream archaeologists and scientists, they nonetheless sparked a resurgence of interest in Nibiru and its supposed connection to Earth's future. However, for Randall Carlson, the connection between Nibiru and Earth isn't just about ancient alien theories. He links it to catastrophic events in Earth's geological history. Carlson argues that Earth's past is punctuated by sudden and violent shifts, events that could correlate with the influence of a massive planet lurking in the outer reaches of our solar system. But what evidence does Randall Carlson present to back up these claims? Let's take a closer look. Randall Carlson's research on Earth's geological catastrophes. Randall Carlson isn't just a theorist. His background in geology and his extensive study of Earth's cataclysmic events give his theories a unique level of credibility. Carlson points to a variety of geological markers that suggest Earth has been impacted by massive, sudden changes in the past, events that don't fit into the traditional slow and gradual models of geology. One of the key pieces of evidence Carlson presents is the Younger Dryas, a period around 12,800 years ago when the Earth underwent a dramatic and rapid cooling event. This abrupt shift in climate, Carlson suggests, could have been triggered by a cosmic event, such as a comet or asteroid impact. But what if these events were tied to the gravitational influence of a large, distant planet like Nibiru? Carlson also points to evidence of massive flooding and the formation of large-scale craters across the planet. He argues that these catastrophes could have been caused by objects being hurled toward Earth, potentially as a result of the perturbations caused by a distant planetary body. If Nibiru does in fact exist and has a powerful gravitational field, it could be responsible for disturbing comets and asteroids in the Oort cloud, sending them hurtling toward our planet. In addition to these past events, Carlson has also discussed the idea that the ancient civilizations, such as the Egyptians, Sumerians, and Mayans, had an awareness of these cosmic cycles. He believes these civilizations left behind clues embedded in their mythology and architecture to warn us of the impending return of Nibiru and the catastrophic events that might follow. The return of Nibiru, a modern-day prediction. Now let's dive into the more controversial aspect of Carlson's theory. He believes that Nibiru is not just a distant memory from Earth's past, but a real and present threat to the future of humanity. According to Carlson, the planet's elliptical orbit means that it will return to the inner solar system in the near future, potentially wreaking havoc on Earth once again. If Nibiru follows its expected trajectory, its arrival could have a significant impact on our planet. Carlson believes that the gravitational pull from such a massive body could cause disruptions to Earth's orbit, the climate, and even the stability of the planet's crust. If it aligns with Earth in a particularly close pass, we could see catastrophic events like massive earthquakes, tsunamis, and even changes in the Earth's axis. Though Carlson's theories have been met with skepticism, particularly by mainstream scientists who argue that Nibiru is a myth or a hoax, there are others who believe that Carlson's ideas are worth serious consideration. After all, the study of comets, asteroids, and the gravitational forces at play in the solar system is still a developing field. Some believe that if Nibiru exists, its effects could be far-reaching and devastating. The science behind Nibiru and its possible impact. One of the key reasons why many people are skeptical of the idea of Nibiru is the lack of observable evidence. If such a large planet were heading toward Earth, it would be visible in the sky, or so conventional wisdom suggests. However, Randall Carlson points out that traditional astronomical methods may not be able to detect Nibiru, particularly if it is a small, dark, or distant object. He argues that Nibiru could be hidden in plain sight, obscured by the glare of the sun, or hidden behind the outer planets, making it difficult for current telescopes to spot. Carlson also points to the growing number of astronomers and astrophysicists who have speculated about the existence of an unseen planet at the edges of our solar system. Some researchers have proposed the existence of a Planet 9, a hypothetical planet located far beyond Pluto, which could explain certain irregularities in the orbits of distant objects in the Kuiper Belt. While this planet is not identified as Nibiru, the idea of a large, unseen celestial body influencing our solar system is gaining traction in the scientific community. If Nibiru exists, Carlson suggests that its return could disrupt the orbits of other celestial bodies, sending them into a path toward Earth. This could result in devastating impacts on our planet, both in terms of physical destruction and climate upheaval. Whether or not Nibiru is real, Carlson's warnings serve as a reminder of the potential dangers lurking beyond our sight. The ancient evidence of Nibiru. One of the most fascinating aspects of Randall Carlson's argument for the existence of Nibiru is his insistence that ancient cultures, long before modern scientific discoveries, knew about the cyclical nature of catastrophic events in Earth's history. According to Carlson, this knowledge wasn't coincidental, but rather it was embedded in the mythologies, symbols, and astronomical observations of ancient civilizations. But how exactly did these civilizations know about such distant and elusive phenomena? Could they have had direct knowledge of a distant planet in our solar system? Let's take a look at some of the most intriguing examples Carlson points to as evidence of this ancient awareness. The Sumerians and the Anunnaki. One of the oldest references to Nibiru comes from the Sumerian civilization, one of the first advanced human societies in history. The Sumerians, who lived in what is now modern-day Iraq around 5,000 years ago, recorded their understanding of the cosmos in intricate writings and texts. Among these records, there's mention of a planet called Nibiru, which they associated with the god Marduk. According to the Sumerian texts, Nibiru was a mysterious planet that followed a long and elliptical orbit, and it had a significant connection to the gods of the Sumerian pantheon. In Sumerian mythology, Marduk was said to be the god who ruled over Nibiru, and his influence extended over Earth. The idea that Nibiru might be a planet with an elliptical orbit and a return cycle was part of their cosmological understanding. While mainstream archaeologists have dismissed these ideas as symbolic or mythological, Randall Carlson believes that the Sumerians might have been recording real astronomical phenomena passed down through generations. Carlson points out that the precise knowledge the Sumerians possessed about the cosmos could have been gleaned from an ancient and highly advanced civilization, or perhaps even extraterrestrial beings. He suggests that the Anunnaki, the purported gods of Sumerian lore, could be a metaphor for beings from Nibiru who visited Earth in ancient times and imparted knowledge to humanity. But it's not just the Sumerians who reference Nibiru in their myths. Across the globe, we see similar stories that could suggest an ancient understanding of this mysterious planet. The ancient Egyptians and the stars. Randall Carlson also delves into the significance of Nibiru in the mythology of ancient Egypt. In particular, he focuses on the ancient Egyptians' fascination with the stars and their knowledge of astronomical cycles. The ancient Egyptians were master astronomers, and they built their pyramids and temples in alignment with the stars, most notably the constellation of Orion, which they believed was the home of their gods. In Egyptian cosmology, the stars and planets were deeply connected to the lives of the gods and the pharaohs. Carlson suggests that the ancient Egyptians might have also been aware of Nibiru's cyclical orbit, particularly because of the myth of Osiris, who was linked to the constellation of Orion. According to Egyptian mythology, Osiris was dismembered and scattered across the earth, only to be reassembled and resurrected. Some scholars believe this story could be an allegory for a much larger cosmic event, such as a planetary impact or a shift in the alignment of the solar system. Additionally, the Egyptians' obsession with cycles and the concept of time could have been inspired by the periodic return of Nibiru. In this context, the gods of Egypt might have symbolized celestial forces, and their stories could have been encoded messages about the impact of Nibiru's return. The Mayans and the cosmic calendar. The Mayan civilization, famous for its advanced understanding of time and astronomy, also left behind records that some researchers believe could be linked to Nibiru. The Mayans created one of the most accurate calendars in history, known as the Mayan Long Count Calendar. This calendar was designed to track long periods of time, and it ends on December 21, 2012, a date that caused much speculation about the potential for a cataclysmic event. Some researchers, including Carlson, argue that the Mayans might have been aware of the cyclical nature of Nibiru's return. While mainstream scientists suggest that the 2012 date was a misinterpretation of Mayan prophecy, some believe that the Mayans encoded warnings about the potential arrival of Nibiru into their calendar system. In this interpretation, the Mayans were not predicting the end of the world, but rather marking a pivotal moment in a long cycle of cosmic events, including the potential return of Nibiru. Carlson points out that the Mayans' precise tracking of celestial events, along with their recognition of the long cycles of time, could indicate that they had a profound understanding of the forces at work in the solar system. Their ability to predict astronomical events with such accuracy suggests that they might have been observing the same planetary alignments that modern researchers are now studying, including the potential influence of a hidden planet like Nibiru. The evidence for Nibiru in modern science. While the idea of a returning Nibiru might sound fantastical to some, Carlson doesn't rely solely on ancient mythologies to back up his claims. He also turns to modern science, particularly the growing body of research into the unexplored regions of our solar system. In recent years, astronomers have begun to discover evidence of an unseen planet, often referred to as Planet 9, which may reside in the farthest reaches of the solar system. This hypothetical planet, proposed by astronomers Konstantin Batygin and Michael Brown, is thought to be about 10 times the mass of Earth and to have a highly elliptical orbit. The discovery of this potential planet has caused a stir in the scientific community, as it could explain some of the unexplained gravitational anomalies observed in the orbits of distant objects like trans-Neptunian objects, TNOs. Carlson argues that this Planet 9 could very well be the same body that ancient civilizations referred to as Nibiru. He points out that the gravitational influence of such a massive planet could have far-reaching effects on the rest of the solar system, including perturbing the orbits of comets, asteroids, and other celestial bodies, potentially sending them on a collision course with Earth. The fact that we are only now beginning to observe the gravitational effects of this planet suggests that it could be real and might have been influencing the solar system for millennia. Could Nibiru cause a cataclysm? One of the key concerns for Randall Carlson is the potential for Nibiru's return to cause a cataclysmic event on Earth. Carlson believes that if Nibiru is real and its orbit brings it back into the inner solar system, the gravitational effects on Earth could be devastating. The close approach of such a massive body could cause a range of natural disasters, including earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and massive tsunamis. The most concerning impact, according to Carlson, is the potential shift in Earth's orbit or axis. If Nibiru passes close enough, its gravitational pull could disturb the Earth's rotation or tilt, leading to catastrophic climate shifts. This could result in a rapid change in global weather patterns, extreme temperatures, and mass extinction events, similar to the sudden climate changes that occurred during the Younger Dryas period, which Carlson argues was triggered by a cosmic event. While some scientists dismiss these claims as speculative, others agree that the Earth is vulnerable to sudden changes caused by celestial bodies. The study of asteroid and comet impacts, for example, has shown that Earth's history is marked by sudden and violent disruptions. Carlson's theory about Nibiru is simply an extension of this idea, that the Earth is not a static, unchanging planet, but one that is subject to the forces of the solar system and the cosmos. The possible timeline for Nibiru's return. So when might Nibiru make its return? Randall Carlson doesn't provide a precise timeline, but he suggests that the planet is on a cyclical return path, and that its return could coincide with the 12,000-year cycle that many ancient cultures recorded. This timeline places the next close approach of Nibiru in the near future, possibly within the next few centuries. Carlson acknowledges that the scientific community remains divided on the subject, but he also points out that the lack of conclusive evidence does not mean that Nibiru is impossible. He emphasizes that the study of the outer solar system and the discovery of new planets is still in its infancy, and there may be much more to learn about the forces that govern our solar system. While many people dismiss the idea of Nibiru as a pseudoscience or a baseless conspiracy, Carlson's theory presents a thought-provoking perspective on the possibility of a hidden, massive planet that has influenced Earth's history and might return in the future. Whether or not Nibiru is real, Carlson's work serves as a reminder that the Earth is a dynamic, ever-changing planet, and that the cosmos is full of mysteries that we have yet to fully understand. The potential impact of Nibiru on Earth's climate. One of the primary concerns that Randall Carlson highlights in his theories about Nibiru is the potential impact the planet could have on Earth's climate. If Nibiru is indeed on a cyclical return path, and its gravitational influence becomes significant enough to disturb the balance of our solar system, Carlson suggests that one of the most devastating consequences could be a massive shift in the Earth's climate. This shift could be more extreme than anything modern civilization has experienced, potentially leading to a new ice age, catastrophic weather events, or even total ecological collapse. The idea that celestial bodies, especially those as large as a hypothetical Nibiru, could influence the Earth's climate is not new. There have been numerous studies throughout history that suggest a connection between changes in the Earth's orbit, axial tilt, or gravitational influences from other bodies, and the planet's climate. One key example of this is the theory of Milankovitch cycles. These cycles describe how variations in Earth's orbit, axial tilt, and precession of the equinoxes can trigger long-term climate shifts, including the ice ages. Milankovitch cycles take thousands of years to complete, but if a massive planet like Nibiru passed close enough to Earth, its gravitational pull could potentially cause more dramatic and sudden disruptions. According to Carlson, this gravitational force might not only influence Earth's rotation, but could also alter the axial tilt, which would have profound consequences on global weather patterns. A dramatic shift in axial tilt could lead to severe climate changes, with some regions experiencing ice ages, while others could be scorched by extreme heat, dramatically shifting ecosystems and agricultural production. If Nibiru caused the Earth's axial tilt to change, the resulting shift in climate could lead to mass migrations of populations, food shortages, and increased competition for resources. This would be an apocalyptic scenario that would dwarf the effects of global warming, forcing humanity to adapt to a world that might not be conducive to modern civilization as we know it. Ancient Earth cataclysms, evidence of past impacts. Randall Carlson's research into Earth's history includes a thorough examination of past cataclysmic events, such as those that occurred at the end of the Pleistocene epoch, around 12,800 years ago. This period is critical for understanding Earth's vulnerability to cosmic influences, and Carlson draws parallels between this and the potential return of Nibiru. One of the most significant events that Carlson focuses on is the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, which suggests that a comet or asteroid struck Earth around the time that the Ice Age ended, causing rapid global climate shifts. This impact could have triggered widespread fires, massive tsunamis, and a sudden drop in temperatures, causing a near-extinction event for many species, including large mammals like mammoths and mastodons. Carlson speculates that such a catastrophic event could have been the result of cosmic bodies being disturbed by a larger gravitational force, like Nibiru. If Nibiru or another planet with a strong gravitational pull disrupted the Oort cloud, it could send large comets or asteroids into the inner solar system where they could collide with Earth. The possibility of these impacts leading to such catastrophic climate changes is consistent with the sudden onset of the Younger Dryas cooling period. Carlson is particularly interested in evidence of black mats found in various parts of North America. These mats are layers of charcoal and other organic material that seem to correspond with a sudden and dramatic climate change. Many researchers believe that these mats were formed as a result of large-scale fires triggered by a cosmic impact, potentially from an object sent to Earth by the gravitational influence of a distant planetary body like Nibiru. This theory isn't purely speculative. Several studies have shown that Earth's history is punctuated by periods of sudden climate upheaval, some of which coincide with comet impacts or other celestial events. While Carlson's Nibiru hypothesis is controversial, it fits into a broader understanding of Earth's dynamic history, a history shaped by periodic cosmic events. The ancient Egyptian zodiac, a hidden connection to Nibiru. In his exploration of ancient knowledge, Randall Carlson often references the Egyptian zodiac as evidence of early cosmic understanding that may have been tied to the return of Nibiru. The ancient Egyptians are renowned for their architectural feats, especially the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, which has long been associated with astronomical alignment and cosmic symbolism. According to Carlson, the Egyptians were not simply concerned with the stars for astrological purposes. They were observing celestial bodies with a level of precision that suggests they understood their movements and their potential impact on Earth. The Egyptian zodiac, which corresponds to the constellations, is thought to have been used by the Egyptians not just to map the heavens, but also to track celestial events that might have had a profound effect on the Earth, such as the return of a massive body like Nibiru. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence Carlson cites is the alignment of the Great Pyramid. The pyramid is aligned with the star Sirius, which was of paramount importance to the ancient Egyptians. The heliacal rising of Sirius, which occurs when the star first becomes visible just before dawn, was seen as a harbinger of the flooding of the Nile and the start of the agricultural season. But beyond its agricultural significance, the star Sirius may have held a more profound cosmic significance for the Egyptians. Carlson argues that the Egyptians might have viewed the heliacal rising of Sirius as a signal, a type of celestial clock that tracked the movement of not just stars, but also potentially a hidden planet like Nibiru. The star Sirius itself has been linked to many creation myths, and its rise could have symbolized an ancient understanding of cosmic cycles, possibly even predicting the return of Nibiru. The intricate understanding that ancient cultures like the Egyptians had of the stars and planets could be more than mere superstition. It could indicate an early awareness of the cyclical nature of cosmic events, suggesting that Nibiru's return might have been part of a larger cosmic cycle observed by these ancient cultures. Planet Nibiru and its psychological impact on humanity. If Nibiru truly exists and is returning, it poses an existential question for humanity. How would we react to the knowledge of our planet's impending destruction or transformation? Would we prepare for the worst? Or would we continue to ignore the warning signs of an inevitable catastrophe? The psychological impact of this knowledge could be profound, affecting not only individuals but entire societies. Carlson's theories have a unique intersection with psychology as they touch on the human fear of cosmic disasters, the unknown, and the unpredictable. The idea that humanity is vulnerable to forces beyond our control is a difficult concept to grapple with, particularly in a world where technology and science have given us the illusion of safety and predictability. Many of the greatest psychological challenges that humans face stem from the awareness of their own mortality. The idea that a planetary body like Nibiru could return and disrupt our civilization forces us to confront the uncertainty of our existence. This existential challenge could bring about both panic and profound philosophical reflection. Would humanity pull together in the face of a common threat, or would we descend into chaos? In addition, the discovery of a massive planet on a collision course with Earth could lead to a resurgence in interest in doomsday cults, apocalyptic beliefs, and millenarian movements. These groups often thrive in environments of fear and uncertainty, particularly when a large-scale catastrophe seems imminent. Randall Carlson, while not advocating for any specific doomsday scenarios, acknowledges the potential psychological toll such knowledge could have on society. On the flip side, there's also the potential for a global awakening. If humanity were to recognize the cyclical nature of these cosmic events, we might come to terms with the idea that Earth's history is shaped by forces much larger than ourselves. This could lead to a sense of unity, with people across the globe coming together to prepare for whatever challenges lie ahead, whether they come from the forces of nature or from our own creation. Cosmic cycles and the fate of humanity. One of the most profound implications of Randall Carlson's research into Nibiru is his exploration of the concept of cosmic cycles. Carlson has long advocated for the idea that Earth's history is shaped by cyclical events, periods of growth, destruction, and rebirth. He suggests that Nibiru's return is not simply a random event, but part of a larger ongoing cycle of cosmic forces that govern the evolution of life on Earth. These cycles can be seen in many aspects of life on Earth, from the movement of the planets to the patterns of life and death, extinction events, and the rise and fall of civilizations. Carlson's focus on these cycles is a call for humanity to recognize that we are not in control of everything, and that the forces of the universe are far more powerful and unpredictable than we often give them credit for. The concept of cosmic cycles, in which periods of destruction and renewal are intertwined, offers a way to make sense of humanity's place in the universe. If Nibiru is part of this larger pattern, it suggests that Earth and humanity are subject to forces beyond our control, and that these forces might ultimately shape the future of our planet. The question is not whether these cycles will continue, but how humanity will respond when they do. In many ways, the return of Nibiru, if it were to happen, would represent a new chapter in Earth's history. A chapter that could be filled with both peril and possibility. Perhaps the challenge for humanity is not to avoid these cycles, but to understand them and find ways to thrive despite their existence. Conclusion: the return of Nibiru. As we have explored, the theory of Nibiru's return, as proposed by Randall Carlson, opens up numerous avenues for inquiry, both scientific and philosophical. Whether or not Nibiru exists, its proposed influence on Earth's climate, the psychological impact on humanity, and its historical significance offer important lessons. We are part of a much larger cosmic story, and understanding this story, even in the face of uncertainty, may provide us with the tools to navigate the challenges that lie ahead. The future of humanity may very well be shaped by forces beyond our understanding. As we continue to uncover the mysteries of our solar system and our place in the cosmos, we must remain open to the possibility that Earth's history is far more dynamic and unpredictable than we ever imagined. So the question remains, will Nibiru return? And if it does, how will humanity respond? Time will tell, but the search for answers continues, guided by the ideas and research of figures like Randall Carlson,